Hey, how's it going? Timothy English here with Bad Karma Films and TV. Here with my good buddy Jason Hoagland. Jason, say hello.
Howdy, folks.
Jason and I have known each other for a long time, and we're going to sit here today and kind of shoot the shit on some movies, I guess, is the plan. Last weekend we went and saw Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which is the fourth installment in the Mission Impossible series. Jason, what'd you think of it?
You know, it's kind of odd when a franchise gets better over time. Usually the movies just get shittier and more campy, and they try and add more sponsors and try and generate more money. But I will say, honestly, I think the Ghost Protocol was probably the best of the franchise, and they just keep getting better as they go.
I totally agree. Starting with Mission Impossible 3, J.J. Abrams, known for Lost and Alias, kind of took over the franchise at Tom Cruise's request. And I think he's got it going on a level that can continue the series over the years without, like you said, having to repeat storylines and getting gradually shittier, which most series seem to do. After you especially do 2 or 3 of them, then I think Pirates of the Caribbean showed that the fourth one, just no matter how good it is, it still feels flat. So.
A little bit, yeah. And also they're not changing around all the characters and storylines like the Batmans have done. I mean, how many fucking Batmans have they been through? And, I would say Keaton was awesome, and Bale is getting there. Obviously Heath Ledger was the best Joker, but, you had, what was the Clooney and Val Kilmer? Get the fuck out of here with that.
Those are pretty poor efforts, definitely. So, but I think with Mission Impossible, I think adding the new director each time, Brad Bird is on this time. It's his first live-action movie. He previously did The Incredibles and the robot. Iron Giant.
Oh, yes.
Iron Giant. So this is his first live-action, and I think he brings a freshness to some of these action scenes. We talked about the scene in the car, and how it's all point of view. And then, obviously from the trailers, everybody's seen the building shots.
Yes.
Which, in this movie, they're breathtaking. I mean, they literally, will make you sweat and feel like you're on the side of this building.
Not for the faint of heart, let me tell you. I have a hard time with heights, and it about made me puke. It's so realistic. So if you got a real issue with it, you may want to turn your head or kind of do a little peek through the fingers deal. But, oh, God, I about died.
Yeah. So, and I think, like I said, they introduce, kind of the next villain kind of as it's going to go forth. And, I think with J.J. Abrams and Tom Cruise, some of the new characters they added, Simon Pegg has been great in the last 2 movies.
Phenomenal.
Jeremy Renner, I really liked him in this movie.
I hadn't not liked him in anything,
right.
Really.
He's pretty good. He's going to be in Avengers coming up. He's going to be in the next Bourne movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's not playing Jason Bourne, but it's a character within the same world. And so, yeah, I think, he's not too overbearing. He was very, he had a great character and a great story.
He fits well. He's not behind the scenes kind of guy, and he's not right up in your face. He just kind of blends in where he needs to.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. And I think, with Mission Impossible movies, being a part of the team has always been the best thing that's worked in these movies. And hopefully now they've set kind of like a team with all these new characters that'll go forward. But.
And I love Simon Pegg. He doesn't play a complete dumbass. He's got a couple of duh moments. He does provide the comedy for the movie, but he's not over the top stupid with it. He doesn't make you feel sorry for him or like he's a complete moron. He just kind of has a couple of slips, so it's funny and it works.
Yeah, and he's not so dumb that you wonder how he got a spot on
exactly
this spy team. So, which I think a lot of times you watch movies and think, how did this idiot get, past the interview stage?
Yeah,
here?
Who's his uncle, something
right?
like that.
So, I think it's a very smart movie, and like Jason said, it's the best one of the series and the best action movie I've seen in a long time. So, excellent.
I was pretty impressed.
This week we also checked out Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt, which is now on DVD and Blu-ray.
And starring Jonah Hill. I
Yeah.
don't want to discount him at all. He was phenomenal.
Jonah Hill, and it's based on the real-life story of Billy Bean, who was a first-round bust. One of those guys that money's thrown at him, and he kind of takes the easy way and tries to play pro ball. And
it's kind of like in real life. Some people make a better player than a manager. Some people make a better manager than a player.
Yeah.
So,
and Billy Bean takes what he learned and tries to apply it to the Oakland Athletics. And he's still with that team. And this kind of shows how he took the science of baseball and tried to cheat the system, kind of. The way the Yankees, Red Sox, they go out and try to buy a world championship.
Yeah.
The A's, they found a new way. Massaging the system, picking those players that nobody else wanted, and they have won a championship. As you see it in the movie, no spoiler alert, because it is a true story.
So
they still haven't won a championship, but the A's they're in the mix every year.
Yeah.
And I think it's something as a Royals fan, we'd like to see them at least get into that equation where they're at least up there challenging for a division every year. Maybe they're in the playoffs every year. Get knocked out of the first round. Which is usually what happens to the A's. But
I'll say, he's a baseball fan. I hate baseball, but we both really enjoyed the movie. So you don't have to be a hardcore fan to like it. The story, it kind of takes care of itself. It plays itself out. It's really well done. So don't have to love baseball. If you do love baseball, it's just more of a bonus for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Brad Pitt's great in it. I think he's moved past his early days as an actor when he kind of got by on good looks.
Yeah.
I think the guy is with most of his movies disappears into his role.
Yeah.
I thought he did an excellent job here.
It was very believable.
And a well-acted movie all around. Like I said, true story. So
and Jonah Hill, absolutely probably one of his best roles I've ever seen him in. He doesn't play the over-the-top, stupid, drops the F-bomb every other word, kind of moronic guy, the goofy hair. He kind of, I want to say he almost is, somewhat mousy in certain situations where he's kind of, doesn't know what he's doing or, doesn't have the confidence that he should have knowing what he knows, but, he plays it great.
Yeah, I agree. And we've talked a lot about actors who rely on just playing stupid from role to role. And I didn't see The Babysitter, but when I see that preview, I see Jonah Hill acting stupid.
Still looks funny. I'll watch it.
Well, and it probably is.
Yeah.
But I see that and I think, oh, here he goes again playing that same character. And sometimes for actors it works. From movie to movie, no matter how bad the movie is, they can usually be funny in it.
Well, and this role just showed that he had depth.
Absolutely.
So.
He's nominated for a Golden Globe. And there's a lot of talk for him getting
God,
nominated
that's
for
on tonight, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, Jesus,
I'm
going to have to watch that,
So, there's talk of Oscar nominations, for the movie, for Brad Pitt, for Jonah Hill. And when you watch this movie, you'll see why. I thought it's a well-executed movie.
What I loved, I wouldn't say most about it, but it was one of the high points for me, is how they didn't coddle these players that they're talking to. They didn't baby them like all these fucking players with these huge egos where you kind of have to, break the news gently. They're just straight up with them and saying, hey, look, you've had such and such injury or you've had, this little luck at this position. This other team might be willing to pay you X amount, but here's what you're worth to us. Do you want to do it and have longevity, or do you want to make $30 million in a year and then fizzle out? I thought it was very cool the way they did it. They were up front with them. They didn't pussyfoot around and, stroke their egos. So that was cool to me.
Which if you follow baseball, that's about all you see, is players being given contracts without really earning it. And these guys with the A's, man, they moved this team, kind of like the Royals has raised players that have basically been farmed by other teams.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, they found a way to be honest with these players and just kind of keep them a part of the family, I guess, is what they have to do at that point, and
it was business. And they understood
they're going to
it.
move on, right? And yeah, and it worked for them, and it goes to show that it's starting to work for other teams, even though they can afford it, as it says with the Red Sox, kind of using that system to win the championship.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we'll have to do this again.
Definitely. We were talking about that new one. I forgot what it's called, the General or something like that.
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen playing a Middle East general, and I know some of his movies can be over the top stupid. This one makes it. I mean, it looks like it's just going to make me laugh my ass off. So I'll definitely give it a shot.
He's usually pretty good. So a lot of good movies coming out here soon. So we'll have to check something else out.
Maybe some porn. You never know.
You never know. Once again, that's Mission Impossible out in theaters right now in IMAX. I wish we would have seen it in IMAX.
That would have been
That's probably
cool.
the best way to see it.
Yeah.
It probably is one of those movies that pays off. But yeah, definitely catch it in theaters on the big screen. It's amazing. And Moneyball's out on DVD. Rent it through whatever you do. Blockbuster, Netflix.
Blockbuster still around?
Download it off the internet. Whatever you do. All right? So this is Tim English and Jason Hoagland. Peace.
Have a good one.
All right.